I've been thinking a lot about why I paint. Where does my inspiration come from? Why am I painting what I am painting right now? And am I taking it all too seriously? This month, I'm working towards the start of a new body of work. I've been working on this series for a few months now, and finally a theme is starting to show itself. I can see it's about transition, movement, change. My characters' worlds are more fragmented than they were in my last series. They're looking for something. In this month's vlog, I'm taking you through my thought process in making these new works. It's Thursday today and I am gonna paint all day. I started out with a sketch that I just made. I kind of like it actually. It's kind of a narrative. I like when I don't know what to paint, I just start and something will come out. Like obviously for me it's more people and stuff because that's what I normally draw. But yeah, I kind of like it. It's I think the sketches so far are turning into something nice, and they might be turned into paintings later on, but I want to finish some other things first. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna focus on now. This is the third painting I made in this series. It's a self-portrait. It's not dry yet, I know, but I'm gonna add another layer anyway, and this way I can continue. She's wearing my clothes, but she seems bigger than me. She's very confident. I'm thinking if I want the checker pattern in the background as well, because it's gotta be, I don't want it to be like decorative. And I also want to work on the sweater because that needs another layer, another bright layer. We'll see. Yeah, I'll remove the tape first. Hello, good morning. It's a new week, it's Monday, and I had a really nice relaxing weekend. Yesterday I downloaded a game on my phone, like the ones you know you're gonna be addicted to for a few hours, and then you'll be like, what did I do in those few hours? And that was just what I needed. Today, definitely getting back to energy. I'll be on holiday from next weekend, so I have 2 weeks left to just paint, and I am definitely giving myself that time. Normally I'm a bit more mixed in my time, like okay, business, commissions, painting, and then social media, whatever, but now I'm just gonna I have decided I'm just gonna use it for painting. Because I really want to get started on this new series, and I know I have been starting already, but I feel like there's something coming, you know? And the only way I'm gonna get that out is if I just do it. There's 4 paintings kind of in the works. One of them is done. One of them is almost done. I showed it in a studio vlog already, but there's like just a few things that I don't like, especially a hand. And I think it needs like half an hour of painting left, and that's it. And then there's the green one that I showed in the last vlog, and that one needs a lot of work because it's still very literal at the moment, and it needs like a lot more, but I don't know what yet. So I think I'm just gonna let it dry for a bit. And then there's the other one that I painted over. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with that one. And there's another one in the back, like you can see it in the background. I think I'm gonna paint over that today, actually. It's just so it can dry and it has like a fresh start, because there's some things that I like, and maybe it's just gonna be like my all over painting. I think most of them are all over paintings right now. I think that is it for this week. This week is gonna be full of that. And also there's a few students coming today. They're from like the local illustration school, and they're just gonna come by with their in 2 groups today, talking about like what are you doing? Basically that, I don't know. And like how did you become a full-time artist, that sort of stuff. In a little bit more than an hour, so I have about an hour left to paint, so I'm gonna use that. I think one of the hardest things about being an artist is talking about your work and what it's about. It's so necessary because the viewer wants to know the story, and it adds a lot to the experience of viewing a painting. But seeing your own work, feeling what it's about, and then putting that abstract feeling into words, it's hard. Maybe I have to see the doorway, kind of, like I have to see it, like remove the tape. I don't know. I do really feel like she should get a tattoo or something. I think this part is cool still. Okay, I'm gonna remove the tape. This is such a pity, but yeah, so that it gives even more depth. Like it already has a lot of depth because she's coming out of the painting. I'm just noticing that the leg thing going on here is like the same sort of leg thing going on in the painting beside it. Because I really like the roughness here, and I think the roughness here needs to translate to this part. It's not a linear process for me, forming a concept. It takes a lot of wrong turns, deciding that's not the way to go. And then going back to that original thought, that spark that made it all come together. Wording that, it all makes sense. Uh, 5:15 now, which is my regular time to go time. The classes from the illustration studies came by. There were two groups. Like the first one was a bit shy and the second one was like questions. So that was really nice. And they were like really excited to just like see everything. And I mean, I get excited when I do studio visits. So yeah, that was a nice break. I tried to paint some in between. I actually did do a few things. Tomorrow we're gonna do something else. I did make like a weird sketch because I made this painting behind me. It's kind of fun. It's super different than what I usually do, but also not, because I did used to paint weird figures from my mind instead of reference. I'm actually really most excited that it's finally painted over. And I really like the orange. And I also looked at all my paintings together and they have the same orange in every one of them. I guess it's a favorite. Yeah. Alright, time to go. Next, see you tomorrow. I've been painting a little bit. I didn't film it, but I fixed some of the face because I didn't like it was so green. I wanted to adjust the brightness on the sweater, so there's some more contrast there. This, so I like the flat green area, but then I didn't know if I wanted to fix the silver or the green, and I kind of like the silver like this, like just that's it. So I kind of photoshopped some things with existing paintings because I felt like, oh, maybe it would be nice to get some more realistic landscapey feeling in that area, just to tie it a bit together with the figures because they're so realistic, or for my paintings they're realistic. That's it. So yeah, kind of like it. There's just 1 week left until I'm going on a holiday, so I want to finish as much as possible this week. I've actually never had this thing where most of my paintings are wet, so I can't really move them that well, and I actually have to wait on them to dry. And also I worked on this painting that I said I was gonna paint over. I kind of really like where it's going. It's like this collage of everything together, so it's kind of all over the place right now. But I even put in a landscape part, which I never do, but maybe I'm inspired by my studio mate who makes only landscapes, but we'll see how that goes. Also, I'm feeling like I even sent out the newsletter about this, but I feel much better than last video. I said it in the video already, but I was looking at it and I looked so tired and like my skin was breaking out, and I never really have that unless I'm really stressed. So it was kind of weird to watch, but I'm also really happy that I kind of climbed out of that tiredness in not that much time, because it's like been 1.5 months since I was the most tired now. And yeah, I really feel like this rush of energy and inspiration and this desire to paint. So I'm really happy that that changed. So I did not do anything creative today. I reorganized the paintings though, so I can start things tomorrow. I have to get some stretchers though because I don't have enough. And maybe I'll do that tomorrow, I'm not sure. I planned my paintings though, like I put them in the right place. And I want to look up if I can make my own frames, and then that's the last thing I'll do today. This work I called Out Now, We'll Be Back for More. She got her tattoo, a reference to one of my earlier paintings. I painted her flowers because I felt like she could use some. I like her in pink boots. Hello, I am back for my holidays. I returned with a cold too, happened on the last day. I kind of thought like I wanted to finish the last vlog just before leaving, but there was no time. So we're here now. I've never been outside of the continent, so I've always been in Europe. So there was definitely a bit of a culture shock. I had this image, maybe it was just because I hadn't researched it that much, that South Africa was like this pretty dry place. Not a lot of water. Well, there isn't, but it's very varied. The first place that we visited was Cape Town, and then we went to about like 4 or 5 hours driving from there, and that was more like a desert area. We we hiked up the Table Mountain, of course, and we did a little trip along the coast, and it was so like, especially that trip, it was so varied in landscape. Like we saw desert and we saw forests and a little bit more of a swampy water area. So I just realized I'm looking at the microphone and not at the camera. Like I really am not used to it anymore. I definitely feel a lot more refreshed. I think the last video I shared, I was a bit like done. And this holiday was a very nice way to just let everything sit and not think about stuff, you know, like not think about work stuff. I tend to look at it like this, but it's really good to do that from like an outside perspective, and that's getting away from your area that you've been in. Definitely helps with that. I'm really happy that I worked on a lot of paintings before I left, because now I return and it's like, oh, I'm seeing them all in the new light again. I actually want to make a painting series where it's like real-time painting and just talking a little bit, because I feel like talking and painting is such a weird thing. Like your two brains are working and it's kind of like this unfiltered talk. I guess it's more like a unedited way of talking to you more directly. And also because like these vlogs take a lot of time to edit, and I feel like if I paint real time for like 30 minutes and just talk a bit, it takes a lot of the stress out of editing all these videos, and I can just release more for you guys. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.